Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. So we are now looking at the remnants of once tropical depression Gordon. Overnight, the system really just kind of falling apart. But it's something that we're going to continue to watch as we go through the next several days, because as you look at the long range and the global models, all indications are that this may kind of reorganize itself in a couple of days. Other than that, not anything going on in the tropics, at least for now. We are going to continue to watch not only Gordon, but the Caribbean. I'll talk about that in a second, but here's the last advisory for now of now the remnants of Gordon. Winds decreasing to 30 miles an hour, and you look at that satellite loop, you can tell it's just a mess. You've got the low right here, you've got some little burst of convection to the south, into the east, but really no signs of any organization with this. You just don't have that closed center of circulation with this. That's why as you go through time, you don't have that track on there anymore, that official track. Now, as you look at our own Fox model, our exclusive Fox model, here it is, very disorganized, way out into the Atlantic. But watch what happens as we go through time. Stays fairly disorganized the rest of today into tomorrow. But then by Thursday, you're starting to see more of that convection, maybe the sign that this is starting to reorganize itself, and then it will continue to work its way to the north. And you're really starting to notice as we head into, say, Friday, heading into Saturday, a much more impressive looking system. So that's why we will continue to watch it. Bottom line is, doesn't really matter what it does because it is out over open water. It's just one of those little stats that we will just kind of track as we go through the coming days. Now, we're going to really start to focus our attention across the Caribbean and more specifically the Western Caribbean as we head not this week, but probably next week, beginning part about the middle of next week. This could be an area that we start to see the potential of tropical development. Of course, this time of the year, you really start to focus a little bit more closer to home. You're not looking as far out into the Atlantic. So here you look at that spin in the atmosphere. We're looking at the GFS model, and you're seeing right here indications, and we're seeing this not only with the GFS model, we're seeing this with the European, we're seeing this with the Canadian, we're seeing this with many, many models. Here's the European, just showing that gathering of more moisture across the Western Caribbean. And this time of the year, you get a lot of moisture, you get the right conditions, and there's always that potential something could develop. So still a long ways off. We're talking about next week, not this week, but next week. So it's just one of those areas we will continue to watch, of course, as you go through, especially the latter parts of September, down through the Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, up into the Gulf of Mexico. Those start to be some of these areas that we watch very closely. And of course we will, and we'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.